Welcome to the Kako Initiative. I'm Justin Feisongo.
Joe Noholova'a here.
And we are super excited today to have big time. Have Marc Tehuritaua with us. And Nico Oudinot is going to translate for us, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I didn't bring your mic on. Okay, you guys are on now.
Okay.
So, Nico, welcome on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Marc?
Yes.
Pleasure
good.
to have you.
Good.
Thank you for the hinanos.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So,
And thank you, Justin, for the birthday cake. Nico and I are enjoying it. It's very good.
Yeah. I didn't know that it was Kevin's birthday too.
Very, very happy
I know.
coincidence.
So it worked out real good. We got 2 cakes for
And
a
you got
reason.
cheesecake too.
Yeah, it
It's
worked
like
out
read my
good.
mind.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. So, welcome in. Welcome to the United States, and super excited to have you with us and talk about canoe design, how you started, and what your vision is in the future for Tehuritaua. Am I saying the name right?
Yeah, Tehuritaua.
Tehuritaua, yeah.
Yes.
And I've been luckily indirectly involved with Tahiti paddling for a good number of years now. A couple guys from the club, Tom and Tim, had bought a couple REV1s, and I made the commitment to bring in a Matahina, and from there it just kind of turned into a lot of things. We had hosted Air Tahiti and Tupuaihoe at the time. Paddling Connection, we hosted them too. Or we didn't host them, but they paddled our Matahina. Mm-hmm. And so it's just been a whirlwind of stuff, along the way. And now we have a race, a V1 race that is attractive for everyone to come and participate, which is what we've kind of always wanted. And luckily, a couple guys had a vision about it. They executed it. First couple of races, we had great participation. And this race, we have huge participation by everybody. A lot of the top paddlers, a lot of the top builders. But I know the story about Ari and Baptiste, and a little bit of the story about Andre Timi, but I don't know any of the story about Tehuritaua. So that's a lot to translate, Nico, but
I try to do my best.
Yeah. Just a brief amount.
Donc, il veut juste savoir comment tu as commencé à fabriquer des pirogues, après ta vision du futur, ce que tu vois dans le sport, et comment elles vont se développer les pirogues. Et comme quoi il disait qu'il avait accès à des rameurs de Tahiti, parce que tu sais, Tupuai et Paddling Connection et Air Tahiti était venu en 2018, donc il était toujours intrigué par les pirogues de Tahiti. Il connaît un peu la Rae, la Timi par le nom, mais Tehuritaua, c'était quelque chose quand même d'exotique jusqu'à ce qu'on en ramène tes pirogues. Donc il voulait savoir un petit peu comment ça a commencé.
Ok. J'ai commencé d'abord en tant que rameur dans les années 95. Et ensuite, je me suis mis à construire des vannes dans les années 2002-2003.
Attends, laisse-moi traduire. Okay. Qu'est-ce que tu vas trouver?
We'll keep it.
Yeah. He started paddling in 1995, and he started to build canoes in 2002, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Et puis, ça m'a plu de pouvoir côtoyer les champions, de pouvoir les écouter et de faire évoluer le Va'a.
He liked to be surrounded with the champion, and he wanted to see how he could develop the Va'a, side by side with good paddlers.
Donc ensuite, vers les années 2014, j'ai eu l'opportunité de pouvoir travailler avec Steeve Teihotaata, qui avait une autre vision et il voulait exporter le Va'a dans le monde et transmettre sa passion.
Okay. In 2014, it's like he got lucky to work with Steeve Teihotaata, and Steve had an idea of wanting to export the Va'a around the world. So that was kind of like similar goal with Marc. Mm-hmm. So that's why they really clicked in.
Wow.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better champion.
Tu n'aurais pas pu prendre un meilleur champion que ça.
Yeah.
C'est le meilleur et the best.
Et c'est le meilleur.
Yeah.
And the best.
Yeah.
Hey, Nico and Marc, can I ask real quick? So before Stevie Boy, who was considered your you said you started in 2002. Have you collaborated with paddlers before Stevie Boy?
Avant 2014, avec quel champion tu as collaboré
J'ai travaillé avec Mike Varney, Georges Cronstead.
Okay.
Il y avait aussi Taro Dubois
Ah, okay.
et Tehuritaua. Heiari Tehuritaua qui a été le champion de Team OPT.
Oh yeah.
He was a OPT
Yeah.
champion.
Okay.
Et quand Steve est venu, on a vraiment développé la pirogue, on l'a monté d'un cran et ça a été vite après quoi.
It's like when Steve came on board, it's like we really developed the canoe very quickly. It's like he brought it to another level.
Okay. And
So, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, no.
I was going to ask, and it seems like Stevie Boy had a good amount of input into your current design.
Steve, il a eu plein de comment tu dis ça, input, pas de direction, mais à te dire comment il voulait la
Ouais.
pirogue.
Steve me transmettait son feeling, son ressenti. Et à partir de là, j'arrivais à faire développer la pirogue. On faisait des prototypes. Et au fur et à mesure, on a développé. Il voulait que la pirogue se comporte comme ça, dans le surf, comme ça, dans la remontée. Et on a arrivé à un juste milieu qui fait que maintenant, on a une bonne pirogue. Et c'est là qu'on a pu commencer à développer ce produit, quoi.
So Steve was telling him the feeling that he wanted in the upwind, downwind. So him is really good at understanding because he paddled before and you translate in a canoe. And so they did a lot of prototype to come to today, today's canoe.
That's interesting.
Yes. So yeah, it goes by Steve's feel.
Yeah.
How much input does somebody like Manutea Millon have in the design and how you have a very limited group of paddlers that paddle the brand, the Tehuritaua Va'a, right? So, but they are very top-notch guys. How much influence do they all have on what you build?
Combien d'influence, disons, Manutea Millon a dans la pirogue, pour le développement de la pirogue? Il dit aussi que tu n'as que peu de rameurs, mais c'est vraiment la crème de la crème, le top du top. Est-ce que tous tes rameurs peuvent te dire comment ils veulent la pirogue ou comment ça se passe?
Oui, pour Manutea, c'est une pirogue différente. Comme c'est un petit gabarit, donc j'ai dû adapter le modèle sur son gabarit, quoi.
For Manutea Millon, it's a different canoe because he's smaller, so it's a little bit smaller size, so he had to adapt it with his body size.
Oh, I see.
Et pourquoi tu choisis, t'as pas beaucoup de rameurs, tu choisis vraiment que le top?
Je préfère travailler en qualité qu'en quantité.
Okay, he prefer working in quality than quantity, so that's why he doesn't want a lot of paddlers. He wants just the best, and he likes the close circle.
Avec cette qualité, j'arrive à mieux développer ma pirogue qu'avec la quantité et je ne reçois pas les bonnes informations.
You say with the quality, you can develop this canoe better. Because it's like when you have too many paddlers, they give you the wrong information sometimes, and you kind of like lose track on what you want to
Right.
get.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask real quick? So speaking on quality, right? Snap-ins, So can you speak on your feelings on it, and where do you see? It seems like snap-in canoes are not snap-in V1s are. You're starting to see more of them now, and from how I always understood V1 paddling is very intimate. It's intimate before you get on the water. You rig your own canoe. You do the lashings, and you take the time to. Everyone has a different setting, and
Small adjustments, right?
Yeah.
Millimeter
Yeah.
adjustments.
yeah. And so now with snap-ins more. I mean, what's your thought there, and how was that transition for you?
Tu penses quoi des SI, des pirogues SI? Parce qu'il dit, c'est vraiment avant, avec les pirogues traditionnelles, c'est vraiment au feeling du rameur. Chacun a ses petits millimétrages de réglage. Mais là, venir au snap-in, est-ce que tu perds pas la tradition? Tu vois ça comment?
Non, je vois ça, c'est pour un progrès. Ça permet de pouvoir transmettre notre savoir à l'étranger parce qu'au jour d'aujourd'hui, un rameur étranger ne sait pas attacher une pirogue comme on fait à Tahiti, quoi.
So the way you see snapping is really to be able to share the Va'a to everyone in the world, because say only few guys, maybe Tahitian, really knows how to strap their canoe, you know, and put it perfectly the way it has to be. So that's why. Mais c'était toi le premier nom dans le snapping?
Oui, je suis le premier.
And he is the first one with
Yeah.
the snapping model. And after, obviously, other brands followed, but he was the first one developing it.
Yeah, when the time I was helping Baptiste with the REV ones, we were talking about the snap-in, and Faye had already had the button, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Baptiste, I said, you know, we need to make an adjustment which Baptiste already knew, that we can slide small increments, you know, and makes it comfortable for the paddler, especially different conditions, different ways you rig. And so Tehuritaua already had it, you know, friction clamp with the button and the, you know, and then he developed his own design, but it was something that was very important talking conversation when we were talking about design. I should stop right there before I keep going. So.
Yeah. Non, parce qu'à un moment, il parlait avec Baptiste et il disait que tu sais, la façon que tu avais fait avec la molette pour ajuster vraiment comme tu veux par rapport aux différentes conditions que les autres marques ne faisaient pas. Donc il dit que ça c'était vraiment une idée très intelligente. C'était venu comment?
Ok. Ben, c'est pareil, je demande l'info à Steve, que s'il veut, il a besoin de régler au millimètre. Et j'ai dû travailler sur cette façon-là pour que lui, il valide le produit, quoi. Sinon, il ne le voulait pas, quoi.
So he asked Steve, it's like how he wanted to set up his canoe, and Steve said, I want to set it up by the millimeters. So he said he had to find a system. If not, Steve would not have paddled that model, you know. He would not have approved that setup. So that's how he came with the clamp. And
So you develop a canoe together with input, and you build it. How much does it change? Wait, I should rephrase this. You set up a canoe with Stevie in collaboration and how it's built. Then you have the other component is the ama, right?
Okay.
And the ama is something that not a lot of people talk about, you know, but it's very important in Tahiti, and we're finding it's very important today in OC1.
Yeah. Il dit, donc là, tu développes la pirogue, mais après, le hama, c'est vraiment très important. Il y a différentes personnes qui aiment différents hamas. Et il voit que even ici, et même ici en océan, qu'un hama, c'est très très important. Donc tu développes ça comment?
Ben, toujours pareil avec Steve, je lui demande son ressenti et puis il me dit voilà ce qu'il veut. Il veut un balancier effilé, je le fais effiler pour que le balancier puisse tenir la pirogue droite, quoi.
Ok. Et si d'autres rameurs de ton équipe voulaient un amas un peu différent?
Ben, je l'ai fait pour Manutea Millon, il voulait un amas différent, plus volumineux, plus facile pour lui à travailler dessus. Donc j'ai fait un balancier différent pour Manutea.
Oui, donc pour Steve, it's like Steve wanted a very thin ama, long for him because he really likes surf and he's a very good surfer, obviously. Manutea Millon, he didn't like much this ama. He wanted more volume, so it's easier to maneuver on waves for him. So he did it for Manutea Millon as well.
Mm-hmm. So when let's say we buy a Tehuritaua Va'a, can we ask for a different ama?
Donc s'ils veulent acheter un Tehuritaua, est-ce que ils peuvent demander différents amas? Avec quel ama ils veulent venir?
Oui, voilà, comme tu as vu quand tu es venu à mon atelier et tu as découvert le ama de 1 million et toi et Cameron, vous avez déjà passé comment?
Ouais. Yeah, you can choose between the one from Steve or Manutea Millon, and like he said, it's like I just saw it at his shop, and actually we are going to order a Manutea Millon ama. I think it's not to take anything from Manutea Millon. It's like a great paddler, but I think for us beginner, would be easier to maneuver, you know, through waves and everything.
Just more user friendly.
User friendly, because I think with the Steve ama, you need to have a perfect balance, which I don't have. Vaiano as well, right? So that's why. But if you have a perfect balance, then you want to go with Steve, like Danny.
Like Danny, yeah.
Danny they don't touch, their armor don't touch on the water.
Yeah. We certainly saw that the last race.
Exactly.
I think it's important to note that I think I think it's important to note that the Tehuritaua, from what I understand, is going to be one of the last canoes that are going to be built on Tahiti, and tailored for a paddler that orders it, right? So, I mean, the rumors around that Faye is going to go to Ozone, and we already know Ari and Timi have gone to Thailand.
Yeah.
So I think that's important to note,
Yeah, this is a handmade canoe. I saw the workers,
For who orders it.
Yes, exactly. So it's not something that's waiting in a warehouse and you choose your color and it's all the same color and everything. So yeah, it's a handmade. So it's something special.
I mean, availability is nice, but it seems like Marc, with you guys have helped figure out a good distribution in the aspect of ordering a set amount of canoes, and when that's done, it goes on an airplane and you guys get it and distribute it.
Correct.
It's pretty simple, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Il me dit que c'est toi le dernier builder qui va fabriquer à la main, parce que Harry et Timmy sont en Thaïlande. Il parle de parler avec Ozone, donc tu seras vraiment le dernier à construire une pirogue à la main.
Voilà.
Traditionnellement, comme la tradition.
Moi, j'ai voulu rester sur ça pour pouvoir maîtriser le produit et vraiment personnaliser le vin pour le rameur, quoi.
Okay, yeah, for him it's very important to handmade, because he want to personalize it, for the paddler. So let's say if you have some of his top paddlers telling him, okay, we can improve the canoe, he wants to improve it. He won't stay with
Not
the
be
old
stuck
model.
with the mold.
Correct, because that's the problem when you mass produce. It's like you cannot change. You can change that much, So that's very important for him. And yeah.
Has there ever been a temptation to send the mold overseas and have someone mass produce it? Have you ever been tempted to do that?
Est-ce que tu as été tenté d'envoyer ton mold ailleurs et le faire reproduire en grande quantité?
Non, ça m'a pas du tout tenté, mais je me suis fait beaucoup approcher par la Chine et d'autres constructeurs, quoi.
No, he really doesn't. He doesn't want it, but he got approached by China and other things that to do it like this. But that's not his way to see things. Very traditional.
Yeah, admirable.
Yeah.
Super. Yeah. What I think is interesting is a lot of the canoes today, right? We heard the computer. You send the. Everything adds up math, right? That's probably the best way I can say it.
Yeah, you scan it, send your design, and then it's getting built. And where it goes in an autoclave and it comes out 15 pounds. And
it's really refreshing to hear a canoe that was shaped by you. And I guess my question is, who was your inspiration? I think a lot of canoe builders and back in Hawaii, there's an inspiration, or there's someone that they model after.
That's okay. So ask the question, then I got a comment.
Il dit c'est vraiment rafraîchissant d'avoir quelqu'un comme toi qui pense pas qu'aux mathématiques, d'appuyer sur un bouton sur l'ordinateur et ça y est, ça se fait, ils vont rajouter le poids et tout. Il dit c'est quoi ton inspiration quand tu es rentré à construire le Va'a? C'est quoi ton inspiration? Il y a toujours quelque chose qui t'a inspiré, une personne, un projet.
So because we know that Faye has been passed down, Ari has been passed down, Timi has been passed down.
Parce qu'ils savent que Faye, c'était le père qui a passé à Va'a. Ari, ils ont acheté le mold à Timi. Timi, ça a été du grand-père. Là, c'est toi qui as commencé cette marque.
Moi, au début, quand je ramais, j'aimais bien aller regarder les anciens faire des pirogues.
Okay.
Et comme je suis quelqu'un de très manuel, Donc, je me suis inspiré un peu de ce qu'ils faisaient. J'aime bien regarder les gens donner des formes et demander pourquoi ils font comme ça.
Ah ouais.
Et ça fait quoi, tout ça, quoi.
Okay, it's like when you was paddling younger, he loved to look at the old generation, like shaping canoes, and he always asked question, okay, why are you doing this? What are you looking to get out of it? And he's a very manual guy, so he likes to shape forms with like the matière, you know, like so he's very he loves looking at the old generation what they were doing it, and then he's kind of like try to replicate it, but obviously as today's technology.
Marc, how did you learn modern composites? Carbon fiber. How did you learn that?
Comment t'as appris à manier le carbone?
Je suis parti faire une formation sur Hawaï avec Tresnac dans les années 2002. Et après, je suis parti me perfectionner grâce à Steeve Teihotaata qui a pu m'ouvrir les portes de l'atelier de Kamanu dans les années 2019. Okay. Et ça a monté d'un cran encore la qualité, quoi.
Okay, the first, it's like he went in Hawaii to work with Tresnac.
Oh, okay.
To learn. Yeah. And then after he got lucky that Steve was able to open the door at Kamanu and in 2018, 2019. And so that's why it's like he kind of like went and learned how to do things with carbon.
Awesome.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, as far as how they build canoes too, right? You know, and if you think about it, there's a lot of parallels, right? They're one of the last, to do it by hand, right? Yeah. In Hawaii. So, it's really nice to hear, your inspiration, like where it comes from, and as far as length, we were kind of talking about this recently, like why 24 feet, right?
Oh ouais, il dit c'est vraiment bien d'entendre quelqu'un qui construit ses pirogues comme tu le fais. Il dit la longueur, pourquoi 24 feet?
Pour que la pirogue ait une vitesse, pour que la pirogue prenne plus facilement de la vitesse et va droite, quoi.
He says for the canoe to take more speed and to keep it straight.
Oh, that makes sense. No rudder, right? Of course.
Yeah. So, there's talks about canoes getting shorter, right? Smaller.
Parce que ici, il parle tout le temps d'avoir des pirogues plus courtes. Donc toi, en fait, tu vas à l'opposé. Toi, tu vas plus longue.
Plus la pirogue est longue, plus elle va aller droite, plus elle va prendre de la vitesse. Si tu raccourcis la pirogue, elle va jamais aller droite, elle va toujours tourner dans les sens.
Ouais. Yeah, it's like the shorter you're gonna get the canoe, the more it won't go straight. It's like the longer you get,
the control,
and the speed too.
And the speed, yeah. So what is next? How do you?
C'est quoi la prochaine étape? Tu vois quoi? La prochaine étape?
Augmenter encore la qualité.
C'est getting better in quality.
Quality.
Yes, because this is very important for him. And as you know, it's like in Tahiti, the weather, it's not the same as here. So sometimes drying, the carbon and everything.
Set up right.
Yes,
humidity,
correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but he's been really improving the quality of everything. I've seen him like he's the only builder that like as you guys know, I buy my canoes, right? So he's the only builder that I've seen scrap canoes and then not selling it.
Right.
The paint job might not be perfect like a machine, right? But if it's like it's not good, then it's scrap it and it's going to do another one.
Yeah. I did hear that there is Tehuritaua being built in Hawaii. Is that true?
Il a entendu qu'il va y avoir des Tehuritaua qui seront construites à Hawaï. Est-ce que c'est vrai?
Oui, c'est vrai. J'ai ouvert un atelier là cette année avec un copain haïtien qui vit sur Hawaï et qui a voulu monter un atelier là-bas. Et ça me permet de pouvoir développer aussi le Va'a sur Hawaï.
Yes, this is true. He is working with a friend, Tahitian friend that was in Hawaii, and that will open doors for him to promote the canoe in Hawaii too as well. And it would be much easier also to import it here.
Yep.
For distribution. So so they opened it this year.
Wow.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Très très cool.
Yeah. Because we know Tiger's there, and he builds a Fa'i that's Hawaiian.
Yeah, and that's a good.
And so it's really cool.
Yeah. So
well, it's really good to hear. I didn't know part of your foundation, is working with Carl Tresnek Senior, probably, I imagine, right?
Là, tu travailles avec Tresnek senior, le plus
Older
vieux,
or younger,
le-
junior?
Ouais, quand je suis descendu en 2003, c'était avec le papa.
Ouais, le papa.
Yeah.
le dad.
Okay, yeah.
Junior was probably in jail at the time.
Il dit il est en prison, le jeune.
Ah,
You know, I think Michael used to work with
Yeah.
Senior as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really, really legendary boat builder.
Ouais,
you
il
know,
dit que
so.
c'est une légende là-bas.
Ouais.
Et il dit, yes, of course. Yeah, yes.
And what's interesting, so I'm thinking back to his canoes, your canoes, the surf. It from what I hear from a lot of paddlers, everyone loves your canoe in the surf.
Ouais, il dit, il y a beaucoup de rameurs qui adorent ta pirogue dans le surf.
ah, ok, merci, thank you.
So, going forward, quality build in Tahiti is your big focus. Improving quality. How are you planning on doing that in Tahiti? Technology, equipment,
Tu as dit que tu allais augmenter la qualité à Tahiti. Comment tu vas faire ça pour améliorer la qualité? Tu vas prendre des machines. Qu'est-ce que tu comptes faire pour augmenter la qualité?
Ben là, j'ai commencé à faire un nouveau moule pour pouvoir avoir des finitions plus propres
Okay.
et plus perfect, quoi.
Okay, right now I just did a new mold actually, like maybe a month ago, to have a better finishes to make it, like out of the mold, like very nice. You can see the seam are much better and everything. So it's
Well, the quality of what you guys have here
Yeah.
is excellent. From what other things we've seen from Tahiti, it's excellent
Yeah, yeah.
quality. How often do you have to build a new mold before you lose them? Because you can only use it so many
Of course.
times.
Combien de pirogues, combien d'années tu peux utiliser ton mold avant que tu loses la finition et tout pour en refaire un autre?
4 à 5 ans.
4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Top.
How many units? How many canoes can you get out of a mold?
Tu sais à peu près combien de pirogues tu peux avoir sorties d'un mold?
Normalement, on en sort au moins 2 par semaine.
You say usually they build like 2 a week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow. Very cool.
Busy.
Yeah. Very busy, I bet.
T'as du travail.
Voilà.
So, besides Tahiti and let's say the United States, where do you see a lot of Tehuritaua Va'as going in the world? Where is a big market where they go?
À part Tahiti et ici en Californie, aux États-Unis, tu vois où aller tes pirogues? C'est où il y a une demande de Tehuritaua?
J'ai déjà distribué sur l'Australie, Nouvelle-Zélande et l'Europe.
okay.
Australia,
And Europe, yeah.
and New Zealand.
Man, can you imagine shipping a canoe to Europe? It's got to be tough.
Envoyer une pirogue en Europe, ça doit être difficile.
On prend un conteneur.
Des tech containers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have to wait to consolidate a container, or do a bunch of guys throw canoes in a container and ship it all?
Comment tu fais? Il faut que tu attendes de remplir le container ou vous mettez tous ensemble
On se met tous ensemble et on fait partir le conteneur sur l'Europe, quoi.
all together
Consolidate.
and then, consolidate
Yep.
the container and then ship it.
So as builders, like between you guys, or between you, Baptiste, Andre Timi, and Joey, you guys all know each other. You guys are all friendly for the most part.
Est-ce que entre toi, Harry, Baptiste et Joey, Vatea, vous connaissez tous? Vous êtes quand même amical?
Oui, on se connaît tous et on s'entend très bien, il n'y a pas de souci, quoi.
Yeah, we all know each other and
Yeah.
there's no problem among us.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
Right on. I learned so much,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's really. If one day you guys are in Tahiti, I really, you guys need to visit that because talking with him over there, Badama and everything, it's really you're living what he's saying, and
Yeah.
really cool.
I have a question about the business and marketing. Okay, so from a marketing standpoint, Tehuritaua Va'a is not pushing canoes,
No.
even on social media or whatever. We see Stevie,
Yeah.
we see Kevin, we see Manutea, we see some other guys, right? We see you guys on it here,
Yeah.
but how do you market the canoe and how do you there's competition on pricing and stuff like that. So Ari is sending stuff to Thailand and Timi's in Thailand and Faye's going to be in China, their pricing is competitive with each other and they're set.
Yeah.
But from what I see is that Tehuritaua is extremely competitive with no marketing, but there's not. I haven't once at this table heard anything about profit or business or. So the primary goal for Marc is it to build a quality canoe and be customer service, or is it to try and push Tehuritaua out to the world?
Okay.
That's a lot. I'm sorry. It's like
also quickly, I know he makes canoes. Was talking to him for the paddler, like for the satisfaction that the paddler has with it. It's like it's not much. I realize he's not going to push a product at all costs.
Right.
It's like he doesn't need, but I mean, it's like it's not his main goal, like to shove it at every sauce. What I would say, like marketing wise. But I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
Il dit en marketing, il ne voit pas que tu pousses vraiment comme les autres compagnies. Donc toi, tu fais comment ton marketing? Tu vois comment pour le futur?
C'est vrai, mon point faible, le marketing. Et pour l'instant, je ne travaille pas dessus, mais j'ai trop de boulot. C'est pour ça que je ne m'appuie pas dessus. Je préfère ne pas trop avoir de pression avec les clients et faire à mon rythme.
Okay. So it's his weakness, marketing, and but he also
Man, that's really big to admit.
Yeah, but he also like to not having the pressure, so that way he has a good connection with the client too, and the person that buys the canoe. So he kind of like that. He like the no pressure feeling where, let's say, like other brands where they have like to sell 200 or whatever.
Yeah, they got to sell them.
Yeah, and, we spoke about quality, right? And from what I'm gathering, Marc seems like someone who takes in a good amount of feedback from his paddlers.
Customer
right?
focused.
He's very meticulous, very customer experience focused, right? And it's really nice to hear that, right? It kind of I think kind of reminds me of like a board shaper, right?
Yeah.
Like your dad, for example, right? Works with a lot of surfers, and it's a process, right? Like
Exactly.
One may not be the same as the other. Yeah, there's a mold, but it's so.
What, by talking to that, we remind me a little bit, and like your dad or whatever, like Ferrari Enzo.
Yeah.
Ferrari Enzo was all about racing, listening to his driver, promoting before marketing the Ferraris to the rest of the world. Right, racing was his main thing. So it kind of like similarity, right? It's like they want to start small, but they want to focus on racing canoes. And Tehuritaua is a racing canoe.
Yeah, very, very good analogy.
So, Marc, besides building canoes, what do you do for fun in Tahiti?
Ok, à part construire des pirogues, qu'est-ce que tu fais sur Tahiti pour t'amuser?
Moi, les pirogues, je fais les pirogues pour m'amuser, mais sinon, j'ai un autre métier, je suis électricien en bâtiment, quoi.
Ah, ok. Mais pour t'amuser, tu fais quoi? Je t'amuse pas trop, hein?
Non, je m'amuse en travaillant, en faisant mes pirogues.
He says he's a builder, but he's also an electrician in big building in Tahiti. I said, so what do you do to have fun, right? He said, I'm having fun when I'm working. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's my pleasure to work and building canoes and everything.
J'aime bien aller voir les courses et regarder Steve ramer sur mes pirogues et puis voilà.
He love watching Steve and all his paddling his canoes, and so he always go take a boat and watch the races. That's really his pleasure.
Take pride in it.
Yeah.
I definitely
Awesome.
feel that. Yeah, you feel that. Do you still paddle?
Est-ce que tu rentres toujours?
Paddle?
J'ai plus le temps.
He doesn't have time.
Yeah, I walked right into that one. I had a feeling that was the answer.
Yeah. So aside from paddling, you mentioned that you're an electrical contractor. How did you learn that? How did you learn that, and how did you get into being an electrical contractor?
Comment il dit, vu que tu es un électricien, comment tu es rentré dans l'électricité? Comment ça t'est arrivé, c'était venu?
J'ai repris l'entreprise familiale et puis j'ai continué.
Ouais, he took his family enterprise, I guess.
Okay.
And he just continued and he grew it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generational.
Yeah, generational.
Yep. Do you have I think I can see you're married.
Yeah.
Do you have kids too?
T'es marié, t'as des enfants?
Oui, j'ai 2 enfants.
Ouais.
How many?
Deux enfants et
One girls, 9 years, et one boy, 2 years.
Oh,
wow.
young family.
Yes.
So your son's gonna be a paddling champion too?
I don't know.
Well, he's got a good start, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
9? How old is he?
No, the son's 2.
No,
Oh, the son
daughter's
is 2.
9.
Oh, okay. I was saying.
Oh, the daughter's gonna be a paddling champion too?
yeah, too.
Yeah.
What does Tehuritaua mean?
Ça veut dire quoi, Tehuritaua?
Ça veut dire. Comment tu dis ça?
It's trying to translate from Tahitian to French.
Yeah.
Ça veut dire danse avec les. Comment dire, c'est la danse du sorcier, un peu un truc comme ça. Ouais.
It's like a kind of like the dance of the spirits, you know, like kind of like sorcier. It's like it would be. It's not like a witch,
Yes.
you know, but kind of like the dance of the the spirits.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Well, probably why the canoe runs so well.
Yeah.
Right? Just plays right into
Just
it.
dances on the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Right.
So yeah, dance of the spirits.
Very cool.
So, is this your first trip to the USA
Est-ce que c'est la première fois que tu vas
or
aux
to
États-Unis?
California?
Non, je suis déjà venu plusieurs fois en vacances.
Oh, he came quite a few times
Oh, okay.
in vacation.
Oh, okay.
With his family.
To Disneyland?
Disneyland.
Yes, Disneyland, Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what happens.
Yeah, that's everyone.
I know.
Right.
I feel bad for Baptiste because he's going to be buying a lot of Disneyland tickets this trip, I think.
Et c'est sans mal pour Baptiste, il va acheter plein de tickets Disneyland pour
Bah oui.
cette fois-ci. Il se yes.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's all
Everyone
good.
know.
Yeah.
Each on their own, ouais. Or
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so this is more of a comment, you know. So we were talking about marketing and how, you know, to help grow, you know, your business. I have to tell you, Nico has been a very big part in helping you grow, you know, your canoes here in California. You know, remember Nico spoke about your canoes a while ago. And so it's really nice for me to see, you know, my friend who, you know, took this on and, you know, and he's growing with paddling, but he's also, he seems to help with the marketing, at least from his paddling. He sets an example.
Yeah, I'm sucking marketing too. you choose the wrong guy.
No, but you know,
Il dit que comme quoi je t'ai aidé dans le marketing, comme quoi voilà, comme quoi je parle toujours de tes pirogues à tout le monde et vu que je suis son ami, il est vraiment content de voir ça. Et je dis mais moi je suis pas très bon en marketing non plus.
Nico m'a beaucoup aidé de pouvoir vendre sur les États-Unis. C'était un challenge que j'attendais depuis très longtemps. Quoi.
And so I helped him a lot to sell in the United States because it was a big challenge that's been waiting for a while. And yeah.
C'est un rêve pour moi de venir vendre mes pirogues pour l'oncle Sam. Quoi.
It's a dream to sell canoes here in the United States. You know, it's like it's something like wow. You know, for Tahitian.
I think the hardest thing with Tahiti is getting in touch, right, and making connections. So, I think that what I think is having multiple options here is important.
Yes.
But the way you know Nico and Ryan show up one day with Tehuritaua Va'as, you know, 2 trainers and 2 race canoes, and everyone's going, wait, where did these come from? How did you get those?
Yeah.
You know, the questions go. Go ahead.
La première fois qu'ils ont vu, ils ont vu arriver les pirogues d'entraînement et pirogues de course. Ils disent oh comment on les a eu. Tout le monde posait des questions parce qu'ils savaient pas que ça venait.
Yeah. So the important thing is that it's done the right way. It's through word of mouth. You know, it doesn't mean, you know, there's not a sales pitch.
No, there's none.
It's just here's an option, and this option can be made for you.
Yeah.
And you know,
It's not
go
for,
on and practice.
exactly. It's not for everyone, you know, but usually people that tries it, they like it, like the way we feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think for the longest time, you know, V1 paddling, you know, people would choose the OC1 because maybe, you know, it was a little intimidating, right?
Sure,
and you know, so someone like you comes around on the V1, you know, I think you're the perfect example. You know, you're talking about, I'm not that good at marketing, but it's you know, they see your growth, right? And it's like, hey, you know what, shoot, Nico's on it. That's, you know, it's aspirational. You know, it's like, hey, you know, I can get on it too.
Well, I also think one of the biggest steps for Tehuritaua was watching Danny paddle it.
Yeah, that was the.
So
watching
Danny,
him win on it.
Well, he only paddled it 5 or 6 times before he raced it.
This guy is unbelievable.
Well, he's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I can fanboy him all day long, but to watch him win on it twice without a lot of practice, and granted, him having the option at any V1 he wanted to race. It's just a really cool thing.
And I want to say that I hope Danny watch it or whatever, but for Marc, it's an honor that having Danny paddling his canoe. He was super excited when I told him. He said, "Oh wow, Danny Ching from the United States." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh wow, it's incredible." I couldn't believe it. J'ai dit que tu étais vraiment content que Danny rame la pirogue. Et ils disent que c'est incroyable qu'en s'entraînant que quelques fois avec la pirogue, il a pris les deux premières places.
Mais ça veut dire que la pirogue, elle est faite pour lui. Quoi.
Yeah, he said that means like the canoe is made for him.
Yeah.
For Danny.
Well, Danny is our champion, here, right? And then Steve is the champion in Tahiti. People can argue it all day long, but I watch a lot of Vohi video and watch a lot of video in Tahiti, and Steve is the most exhilarating guy. Just if he's behind, he's fun to watch get after it. If he's ahead, he just maintains it. He's just such a professional, and so to have them together in the first race was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Et c'était le top d'avoir les deux premières courses, voir Danny et Steve.
Ah oui, j'imagine, j'aurais voulu être là. Quoi.
Et he wished he was there.
Yeah.
Just to see it.
Yeah, and I wish we were talking about it a little bit earlier. I wish that Danny didn't have an obligation for Carolina Cup.
Yeah.
Because I know Steve's in better shape, and Steve wanted to be here to race him.
But Danny was very clear from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Like a month before, he told me, "Hey, Nico, I can only do these 2 races."
Right.
And after our priority, I said, "Oh yeah, no problem."
Yeah.
So, but I know if he didn't have that, he would have definitely give them a good fight too.
Oh yeah.
So
it would have been nice to see Danny with all the guys out in the water mixing it up.
That would have been awesome.
But
I don't think any other guys can. Honestly, this weekend can go against them.
No,
that's going to be 8 Tahitian in France.
We were saying that. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I think I know what you're going to say, but we were talking about like, hey, is there a California Cup and a Tahitian Cup? Because I think there's going to be 2.
Oh, for sure.
2 classes almost in a sense, right?
J'ai dit c'est dommage que Danny soit pas là parce que c'est le seul pour vouloir taper devant avec les Tahitiens qu'il y a ici. J'ai fait là, il va y avoir les Tahitiens et après nous.
Je pense que Danny a une chance quand même, quand je l'ai vu ramer dans les vidéos. Hein.
He say he think that Danny will have a chance to take it because he saw him how he paddles in the video.
Il rame avec l'expérience.
He say he paddle with experience and he's smart.
He's smart, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Adaptable.
Well, and he's ahead of himself, 10 steps, right? So he's always planning.
Yeah.
But I got a question about racing, actually, Marc. You've been around racing a lot in Tahiti, and you've been a part of the racing community, building canoes. This is our first series. How can we improve on the series to make it more attractive for Tahiti to come, or New Zealand or Australia or anybody to come? How can we make it more attractive?
Toi qui as de l'expérience dans les courses de Tahiti en V1, que tu construis les pirogues et tu as de l'expérience, comment est-ce que tu peux nous donner un conseil pour mettre cette course qu'on est en train de faire que de V1 pour que ça attire encore plus de gens autour du monde, avec Tahitiens, Nouvelle-Zélande? Est-ce que tu vois quelque chose qu'on devrait faire pour améliorer cette course?
Peut-être ouvrir les catégories, peut-être mettre des juniors, cadets, pour que ça réunisse les familles, pour que quand le rameur il vient, il puisse faire ramer sa femme, son enfant, la famille. Quoi.
Maybe have a little bit more categories like junior, like a woman and everything. So you say that when the paddler comes in here, they can come with their family, and maybe the wife wants to paddle or the kid wants to paddle. So everyone can kind of like gather together around that race.
So more of instead of a single race, but a full day event.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do in Tahiti. It's like everyone hang out and picnic,
How about offering a cash prize?
Oh, ça c'est sûr. Il dit, Et aussi donner des cash money, cash prize.
Voilà,
Ça,
cash prize. Et je pense faire des courses pour les jeunes de 10-12 ans, des courses de 15 minutes,
Ouais.
pour que juste ils viennent s'amuser et rassembler les gens. Quoi.
Ouais. Yeah, cash prize for sure, but you say doing races for the 10, 12 years old, just 15 minutes, so that way they can have fun and experience this type of races.
Yeah, so that's a really, really great, awesome answer. You know, considering the family over the cash prize, like whatever.
Yeah.
But flying, you know, if you look at like even this race, you know, there's, I don't know, 15, 18, 20 Tahitians that flew in.
Yeah.
If you'd fly in their families and do all this, it'd be a little bit tough, right?
Yeah.
Financially.
Yeah. Ouais. Il dit que si y avait des Tahitiens qui venaient, si tu disons qui venaient ici à faire la course, mais t'amènes la famille, ça leur coûterait quand même assez cher.
Oui.
Tu penses pas?
Oui.
Yeah.
Donc ça sera pas un problème ça.
Et pour nous aussi, si on dorme la famille, oui, mais pour vous, si vous arrivez à faire venir la famille du rameur pour qu'ils viennent ramer, et puis qu'il fait ramer ses enfants.
Ah, ok.
What
Yeah.
we need is sponsors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yep. 100% sponsors.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like just like in Tahiti, right? You know, when they race Haviki Nui or whatever, they got all the sponsors on the canoes. And
Yeah.
And you maybe not have to bring like 15. Maybe it's better bringing 5 or 6 with families than 15 alone, you know?
Well, you get the same amount of races, right? You have their
Exactly.
families or whatever.
Yeah.
You get, you know, same
Yeah.
amount of participation.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe that might attract also some other paddlers from here. And I show you an article that in Brazil they were talking about that race, which is awesome in Brazil.
Yeah. So they're going to live feed in Portuguese tomorma.
Yeah.
Oh,
so cool.
the
Yes,
Saturday's race.
yes.
Yeah, the Saturday race.
How are they going to do that?
I don't know. There's a crew up here that's gonna live feed in
Oh,
Portuguese.
they're coming. There's
The
another
Brazilians are-
crew.
Yeah. No. I don't know how they're connected, but they're gonna there's
Okay.
a group here that's gonna live feed in Portuguese for Brazil.
Yeah, ça va être aussi retransmis au Brésil en direct cette course.
Okay.
That is the emerging market in paddling. I've said it 100 times.
Oh yeah.
Brazil. Yeah. Yeah.
They're just like surfing, you know.
Yeah.
They just come out of nowhere and just take it,
And
you
they're
know.
gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, side note, Justin, so I love a lot of sports talk, right? And, you know, we're both 49er fans. And
Yeah.
one of the guys I love listening to, he called it with Brock Purdy, right? Like, he was saying, like, all, like when they drafted him, like, this is the guy, right? This is the guy that's going to just come in and... So basically what I'm saying is Brazil is your Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you're
you know,
calling it.
so an interesting question about Tahiti is who are the best up and coming guys in the sport?
Qui sont les meilleurs rameurs que tu vois arriver, qui sont jeunes mais que tu sens que ça va, qui vont tout démolir entre guillemets.
Là, il y a un jeune qui est en train de bien monter, c'est Keoni Supplice qui rame actuellement en Shell, qui est toujours junior. C'est un des juniors qui va faire mal dans les années. Quoi.
Et c'est Keoni Suspice, he's paddling with Shell, number 5 I think on a canoe. And he said
He's a young kid.
Yeah, young kid. He said this kid's
When he
gonna...
came this year, he was like 19 years old.
Yeah, he said this kid's
Tall,
gonna...
real tall.
No, he's not very tall.
No?
No. Keoni Suspice is on
Well,
the...
I'm short. Everybody's tall. to
I
me.
know. No, Keoni Suspice, yeah, he's not tall. He's not like airy tall.
Okay.
He's way shorter. But he said this is gonna hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
And is it, and this is also probably a good question for Stevie Boy later on, but are there more younger kids? The level, is it higher with more volume? Like, is, you know, back in the day it seemed like there was just that one kid, right, that kind of stood out amongst the rest, but are you noticing more kids, and are they younger?
Like
that are
coming
breaking out.
up, yeah. So you got
that
so
are,
what Joe's saying is you know, like generationally, right?
Yeah.
There are certain generations that may have a big paddling group,
Ouais.
and some that might be a little bit smaller.
Est-ce que tu crois que la génération qui arrive, là, il y a encore plus de nombre de rameurs, de jeunes qui vont faire mal, comme tu dis, ou un peu moins que les générations précédentes?
Je pense qu'ils vont faire la continuité. Je pense pas qu'ils vont faire plus mal, mais ils vont maintenir la continuité. Quoi.
Mais il y aura autant, tu penses, autant de rameurs ou un peu moins?
Un peu moins.
No, he thinks like a little bit less.
A little bit less.
Okay.
But I think it's generational too. Like, you know, depending on how many kids that are, you know.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you know, because it kind of seems, I'm just thinking of the trend in the last 20 years, right? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not that old or anything, but I just think of like each generation had 3 to 5 guys that were in that mix, right?
Right.
You know, and so I was just wondering, because it kind of seemed like too, you know, Steve, Kevin, who else is in that mix? Like,
How old is Steve?
Steve, quel âge il a? 31?
same age, huh?
31.
31.
And Kevin is a little bit younger.
Kevin who?
CJ, yeah.
Quel âge il a, Kevin CJ?
Kevin a 30.
Non, 30 ans, pareil. Ah, c'est en jeu les émis.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. 30.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, you know, because it kind of seemed like it was them, and then I guess like
Before it was Manutea Millon.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Now you got a new guard coming in.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if that number, you know, if there's more, but it sounds like it's kind of just the same.
Yeah, same.
You know?
Right.
It's kind of like every soccer player or whatever. You always like 1 or 2, you know, that transcend everyone, and then after the rest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, every
okay.
sport, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
And then every 5 years it turns over.
Yeah.
Every 5 or 8 years it turns.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got a question for Marc. So Marc, obviously, you have your guys that paddle for you and help you design. Without saying who it is, but do you have your eye on a new young man that is going to help you grow your design or be your next champion?
Est-ce que tu as, sans dire son nom, mais est-ce que tu as déjà vu un jeune qui t'attire vraiment et que tu as envie de l'avoir dans l'équipe?
Non, pas encore. C'est très dur. Depuis que je rame, j'ai eu vraiment 2 grands champions. Steve, c'est mon deuxième, et
C'était qui le premier?
c'est Mike Varney.
Oh, okay. He said no, he hasn't seen anyone. It's like it's really hard to have a champion. He said he only had 2 champions since he started, Mike Varney and Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said again, him is like really top quality. It's like he doesn't settle for less.
Well, I ask because if you look at some of the other guys' websites, you know, they've got 30 paddlers on there. That, you know, they just claim everybody's name, right? And so I'm just curious because from growing and going into the future, like, you know, who's going to be the next guy that's going to, you know, Stevie's always going to be part of the company, you know, it sounds like, but who's going to be the next guy that's going to kind of move into that spot, you know?
He hasn't found any.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Il dit parce que après quand Steve devient plus vieux et tout, qui tu vois le remplacer, je fais t'as pas trouvé encore.
J'ai pas encore trouvé, et chaque année je demande à Steve, tu veux encore faire la course? Tu as faim? Tu veux te battre encore? Puis il me dit oui, je suis toujours dedans, donc je continue.
And he say every year he asks Steve, it's like, do you still want to go fight? Are you still hungry? You still want to go racing? And every year Steve say yes, so he supports Steve.
I think even after he says no, right? If he says I'm done, I still think he is the best ambassador for Tahiti and for the sport.
Of course, and I am sure. Obviously, the name is on the side of the canoe, so you always have input even after being retired.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he does in the future and you know what the next step is for him.
Yeah.
But I'm also excited to see, you know, how Tehuritaua grows into, you know, the world. And I mean, obviously, we just got exposed to Tehuritaua
a year ago. Yeah. Il dit, ça fait qu'1 an qu'on te connaît, depuis qu'on a ramené la pirogue. Avant, ils ne te connaissaient pas.
Okay. Yeah. Very excited.
Et ils sont très contents.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Joey, got anything else?
No, I thank you. You know, this is merci.
Marumete.
Yeah, it's you know, it's, I think it's special to meet, you know, we met Steve a couple times, you know, in the past, and you know, he's good fun, but it's also nice to meet the brains behind, you know, you're like the man in the chair, you know, like with Batman, you know, he's like Alfred, he's the guy that made the Batmobile.
Et t'es comme dans Batman, c'est toi qui fais la Batmobile. Yeah, so I'm glad you guys were able to see what I saw,
too.
you know.
Me too.
Because it's really hard to translate it, right?
Yeah.
The energy and everything, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck.
Well, I just think it's really cool to talk to somebody that that has their hands on the craft and builds it and has enough care, right, and enough love for what they do to know that, well, like you were saying, this canoe came out of the mold, it's no good.
Yeah.
Throw it in the trash. We're gonna build another one or whatever. You know, I think that's important, and it's also like, you know, we talked about surfboard shapers.
Yeah.
A guy lays up a surfboard, and if it didn't shape it right or it's not good, they just cut it in half, throw it in the dumpster, and they start again.
Yeah.
And it's there's a lot of care and a lot of love into it, and that is something I appreciate very much. So, you know, meeting you today, I'm very, very appreciative.
Yes.
And thank you very
Très
much.
très très content de t'avoir rencontré.
Merci, je suis content aussi de vous avoir rencontré.
And I'm excited for tomorrow. If he's going to be on the boat with us tomorrow, it's going to be great.
Non,
Yeah.
samedi, Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday. Yeah.
Très content de t'avoir sur le bateau avec eux samedi.
Ok, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to learn a couple. I'll have to learn a couple French words so that we can, you know, talk enough and, you know.
Il va apprendre quelques mots en français.
Ok.
Yeah. So it'll be very good. I'm super excited. So, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay. All right. Have a good night, guys. See you later.
You too.